but I'm actually the one giving the class today. My name is Dominique. I've met most of you, but not all of you, so I'm really excited to have you guys on the call, and I'm so excited to have you guys in this class. Last week, we covered the introduction to essential oils, but I know most of you here are a little bit more experienced. So this is the first class in our 8-part series, education series. Just in case you guys can't hear me because there is some construction going on, just let me know. I'll try to speak up or speak into the microphone. Just wanted to check. I'm going to go ahead and share a screen and make sure that you guys all have our continuing education card. Can you guys all see the screen? Yeah? Okay, cool. Thumbs up. Does everybody have this card? Oh, I see someone else joined. Hi, Natasha. So the really awesome thing about our team is that we're doing all this group training and group education. So you can tune into any of the classes that are happening various times during the week, and then you can go ahead and check off all your classes. And when you filled out a card, you're gonna get a little prize from your upline. So if your card is stamped and complete, let us know and we'll send you a little gift. Okay, so I'm now going to share with you guys, at least the screen, for our worksheet today. And don't worry, at the end of the class, I can definitely share this with you. Don't feel like you have to memorize everything. I think I will have done my job well today if you guys are at least curious and excited about trying a new oil, or if you've learned one little thing about oils that you didn't know before. So this is all about understanding how to use our oils, right? So it is actually a lot simpler than we think. But sometimes we look at someone's shelf and we see so many oils and then we get a little bit overwhelmed. But what's awesome is that with whatever you have, there are going to be so many different combinations and applications that you can put together on your own. And get creative if you're a DIY person, figure out what you love, make your own blends, or you can just go through some handy dandy guides. I don't know if any of you guys have, or what resources you guys have. If you have the Essential Life book, small or large, or if you have the Essential Life app or the Modern Essentials, which is the guides that we usually look through to find information about our oils. But if you don't have any of these books yet or the apps, you can always just go to doTERRA.com. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys is the application method and the skin sensitivity, right? And these are the little symbols that you're gonna find in these guides when you're looking up certain oils and how to use them. Now it does say here that all doTERRA oils are labeled for type of use. They are mostly referring to the bottles that are printed in English in other countries and in the US. Ours here in China is a little different, especially. So that's why we just like to go back and look into our guides. So as you can see here, we've got A. If an oil has the A sign on it in the guide, it means it can be used aromatically. Hopefully you guys all had a great experience with this recently. Hopefully you guys are diffusing something delicious and healthy right now, or even just applying some to your hands and using it as your own personal little diffuser. Then we have topically, T, right, which means that the oils can be applied to your skin. Then we have I, which means the oils can be taken internally, right, either in a glass of water, I've got my lemon here, or in those little veggie caps. Really depends on if you like the taste or not, or the oils that are a bit strong, you might want to put them in the veggie caps. And then we want to go over.
Sound is a little low. So maybe,
my sound?
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to hold the microphone. Okay, so then skin sensitivity usually is a question that comes up in our classes, and we just want to assure you guys that yes, oils are safe for using on your skin. However, we do want to just make sure that we're being sensible about it, right? So most oils are captioned with an N, which means that they can be used topically without any dilution, so neat, right? And then there's S, which means you want to dilute the oils if you're applying them on young skin or sensitive skin, or if you're just not sure, right? Maybe your first patch test or something, you prefer to use another oil to dilute it. And I'll talk about that in just a second. And then we have the D, which is oils that you definitely should dilute before applying topically. And these will be more of our hot oils like cinnamon or oregano. I know some people have had experiences like that in the past, but you don't have to worry at all, because if you do get an oil into a sensitive place or a sensitive part, we can totally neutralize that effect. But we do want to make sure you guys know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And I know that our instinct, probably when we feel, some sort of pain or instinct, some pain or sensitivity, we're going to go for the water, right? Usually cold water or even ice. However, as we learned in the first introduction to oils class, oils and water don't mix, right? Oils are actually hydrophobic. So what would happen is the water would actually open the pore even more and then force the essential oil even deeper into your skin. And same goes for eyes, right? If you were in Allie's class last week, she made a little joke about putting peppermint in your eyes. If that does happen, and it has totally happened to me, just try to, either you can wait and see if you can blink it out, or you can go ahead and use the coconut oil. So coconut oil, the fractionated coconut oil, is an example of a carrier oil. And carrier oils are what we like to use to neutralize any sensitivities. So doTERRA offers this one here, the FCO. If you see in our chats or in our team people writing FCO, that's the little lingo. That's what we mean. We mean the fractionated coconut oil. However, if you don't have that, you can also just use olive oil or other coconut oil that you might have. Jojoba, almond oil, any of these vegetable oils would be good for you. What's really awesome about the FCO, and I don't know if you guys have any on hand, you can use it for so many things, but it's really great because not only is it a carrier oil for our essential oils, it is actually beneficial on its own. And the reason for that is because it has similar characteristics to an essential oil. And so it has the same ability to pass through our cell, just like the essential oils do, which means that they will carry the benefits even further into your skin. And they will also slow it down. So if you notice, our oils evaporate pretty quickly. And if you want to keep that effect for a little bit longer or slow that down, you can go ahead and add the FCO. And fun thing as well is that our immune systems are also supported by the FCO because they support a normal inflammatory response. I also like to use the FCO as my makeup remover. I don't buy makeup remover anymore because it's not necessary, and I don't know what other chemicals it might include. So I just at night use my FCO, and it's kind of like a makeup remover and moisturizer at the same time, which is really great. And if you do have it at home, you'll notice that it is completely colorless, odorless, and it's always liquid, which is really nice. And even if you dump it all over your body, you're not going to be oily really, really soon, which is nice and something unexpected, because I think coconut oil in general is like such a buzzword. Right, we see it all over the market for good for hair and skin and stuff. But when you use one that you normally buy at a shop, I remember the first time I did, I was like, I'll DIY something with coconut oil before doTERRA. And then I was like, oh, I feel so oily. I cannot do this. This cannot be part of my regular routine. So as you see here at the bottom, these are some of the oils that they suggest to dilute. Lemongrass is spelled very incorrectly in a very enthusiastic way, lemongrass. But these are some of the oils: lemongrass, oregano, thyme, cinnamon, cassia, clove, and geranium.
Okay.
And you'll notice,
Nikki, one more
yeah,
time. Now you're too close and we got feedback.
Oh,
You're good.
too close to the
Yeah,
microphone?
maybe just let it hang down and see. Sorry.
Okay, cool. No, that's good. Sorry. Okay, so these are the oils. And I don't know if you guys noticed or if you've tried any of these oils, your body can kind of feel that they're too strong. I remember I read all about the benefits of geranium and I like put it near my face and it was like, ooh, that's too much on its own. So I just added it to my moisturizer or added some XEO and it was easy peasy. So we're gonna move on to the next section, if that's okay with everybody. So let's talk about why plants. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when someone invited you to an essential oil class or someone said the word essential oils, it kind of sounded like, this word essential, they're just trying to market these oils, right? But actually, the reason for this is because these oils are literally essential to these plant lives, right? And they perform so many different functions in these different plants. So what's awesome is that if we understand a little bit more about what these oils do for certain specific plants, we can understand how these oils are going to support our body system. So just an example of what some oils do for different plants. They help regulate plant growth. They regulate plant metabolism, which is funny, right? To think about plants as having metabolisms. They also function as plant enzymes, and they help build the plant's immune system. So what's funny is that, I mean, I think everyone remembers walking by some like lovely flower fields or in a forest, right? And you have that smell. And there's so many different reasons why the smell would be all around you. But for example, as a kid or something, I remember breaking twigs and then you would see like the twig starts to cry a little bit and there's that smell. And this is what we call the oleogum resin. And this is basically the action that starts, right? That starts the oil being produced in the plant. And that's where you can see here in the green, an action that comes out in the form of a volatile oil. That's our essential oils, gum or resin. So the other thing that's really awesome is that essential oils are smart. Our bodies are smart too. We just work together really, really well. So I'm gonna just read this to you, or maybe we can read it together. Essential oils absorb into your skin and body systems very quickly. They also promote proper cell defense and integrity, both inside and outside our cells, which is why we love them so much, right? And then some essential oils help ward off environmental and seasonal threats, while others promote healthy circulation and enhance your mood. So, knowing the place of where the oils are harvested on a plant is going to be beneficial for us to understand what part of the body the essential oil will benefit. And I remember one of the first classes, I can't even remember who told me this little image, but I really like it. When we're looking for a certain effect or a certain benefit from oils, we can just look at the tree. I don't know why I'm pointing at the tree next to me. There's a tree here in the picture. But if we need something enlivening and uplifting, we want an oil that is taken from the top of the tree. So an oil that's gonna come from the fruit or the flower, right? Like our citruses and berries. If we need something more grounding and relaxing, we want to take an oil that comes from the roots of the tree, right? It's what holds the tree to the earth, right? Because we're beings of nature as well. And so that's a quick, easy way to remember it if you don't remember all the little details. But a little more in depth, we can talk about when we need an oil for balance or stabilization. You'll see here, we're going to go for the root oils or the rhizome oils. When we want an oil for supporting hormones, and this is really interesting, we want to choose an oil that comes from the seeds down here. And then, as I mentioned before, flower oils are really light and really delicate. So these also not only help us with our uplifting feelings, they also help us with clarity and focus. And so it's really cool that we can just learn the part of the plant where we harvest the oil to be able to see what that connection is with our body and which part of our bodies will benefit from the oils. But also the quick tip of, if you're not sure where to put the oil on your body, you want to put them on the bottom of your feet, right? Because the bottom of our feet is where our pores are the largest, and our legs are like straws, and we just like suck it all up, and that will help give the oil, or give our body like a systemic effect with the oil. So I know we went into, this wasn't really any science or biology, not yet, but we are going to dive a little further into that in class number 8. So that's really exciting. You can take a look at our posters that show the calendar for the next coming classes, and we will talk a little bit more about how the oils are actually extracted. Okay, and now let's move to the next. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more specifics, because I'm sure you guys are waiting to hear a little bit more about what oils you're going to try next. So the first thing we're going to talk about are the citrus and berry oils. I'm sure everyone has at least 1 or 2 citruses in their starter kits, right? Like lemon. Another favorite is wild orange. As you can see, actually, I thought it was pretty interesting to see that black pepper and pink pepper count as citrus and berry oils. Maybe I just didn't know that much about pepper. But another favorite of mine is tangerine or grapefruit. It's interesting for me as well that there are some fruits, real fruit, that I just don't like. Like, I don't enjoy grapefruit, but I love the oil. So all our citruses and berries are cleaning, invigorating, uplifting, energizing, strengthening, refreshing, and embracing. And I think when you diffuse a citrus oil, you can feel it immediately, right? Like, I don't know anyone who can smell a citrus oil and doesn't smile, which is awesome. One oil that I wanted to shout out was actually bergamot. The bergamot oil, it's interesting. It's really great for self-confidence. If any of you have read Dr. Marisa Snyder's Hormone Solution, she talks about this one a lot. It's also very calming. And so this you can apply to your skin, but you want to make sure that you do this at night when you're not going to have any sun exposure. If you're in our team group, you'll see that one of our gals did have a not so great experience when she put on bergamot and then went out into the sun. So with any of our citrus oils, we just want to make sure that we're not going to be getting any sun, definitely no sun tanning within like 12 hours. But adding it to your nighttime moisturizer is a really great choice. There are also purifying properties, right? And other oils that you could, if you wanted to add to your nighttime routine, or actually some of them like lavender could be your morning routine, like patchouli as well, lime, arbor vitae. I've been using arbor vitae when you have any like very specific breakouts. That one is very powerful. Okay, let's move on to the flower oils, which are just so heavenly, so lovely. A couple of the ones here are blue tansy, clary sage, clove, geranium, helichrysum, jasmine, lavender, magnolia, neroli, Roman chamomile, rose, rosemary, ylang ylang. There are just so many. I find it really interesting as well that depending on how we were raised or which country, which culture, we might gravitate towards certain scents. Like, I've noticed that here in China, people love ylang ylang. It's not my favorite. I prefer some other flower oils, but it's really interesting. And I think if we go back to how we're the tree and we're beings of nature, if there are certain oils that you just love, please use that oil, because it's going to be so great for you. So anyways, back to what the flower oil, sorry, let me just check this chat. Are there questions for me? Oh, okay, cool. So flower oils are really great because they're so light, right? They give you energy, they give you focus. I think it's rosemary that has shown to boost your memory by like 30% if you use it while you're studying. And of course, the more you use it, the better it's going to be for you. These oils are very light and airy. They're very delicate and fresh. Another interesting tidbit is that if you find an oil takes a really long time to pour out of the bottle, if it's really thick, then it's an oil that's going to be very grounding and relaxing. But if it's very light, it's going to be uplifting and energizing. So you'll notice that lots of our citrus oils and flower oils might pour out of the bottle a bit too quickly. A nice one, actually I don't have it here, is helichrysum. Very, very precious oil. It's really great to use this one topically to reduce the appearances of blemishes, wrinkles, any sort of cuts or skin issues. And of course, it helps promote the glowing skin and youthful complexion. I've only really used this one after getting really, really badly sunburnt, but it was definitely a lifesaver. You can also use it with a body massage to help you promote vitality and energy, or you can massage it into your temples or the back of your neck and you have those soothing sensations. You can do this with any of the flower oils. Clove is quite strong. But it's like I said, if you have certain preferences for scents, I'm sure that's your body telling you something that you either need that oil or that oil is just going to be extra, extra great for you. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about the leaf oils. Oops, sorry, chat. Oh, yeah, I remember that story too. Yes, Victoria said she dropped her bottle of helichrysum. It's just the 5 ml bottle. And instead of wasting it, she made everyone roll around on the floor, which is totally what I would do. You don't want to waste that one at all. Okay, so we have the leaf oils now. These are the oils that maybe we use a little bit more in the kitchen, right? Like basil, cilantro. Okay, I wouldn't really use citronella in the kitchen, but it's really great for warding off bugs. Cypress, eucalyptus, lemongrass, marjoram, oregano, peppermint. I mean, there are just so many leafy oils. And these are really clear oils. I don't know about you, but I love peppermint in my water throughout the day. I need this like cleansing and fresh feeling and scent throughout the day, and it makes my stomach feel clean and clear as well. But these oils are also really uplifting and really fresh. But I do know some people who don't like mint at all. So it's nice to know that if you're looking for some benefits of leaf oils, you can turn to any of these other ones. Also great for cooking. I don't know if you guys have tried, well, I know a few people in the chat right now are cooking professionals, I guess I would say, considering the photos that come out of your kitchen. So it's really nice sometimes if you want to experiment using the oils instead of the fresh herbs, right? Because we know that they're super potent. You really don't have to use very much. Like black pepper. This was another, black pepper is not a leaf oil, but I remember Victoria told the story where she was really, really excited to try using oils for cooking. And so she put like too many drops of black pepper into her pasta sauce and it was just ruined. So what's nice is that they're cost effective and they're effective. You don't really need to use too many drops when you're cooking. And if you guys try that, please share in our group. We love to see how people use their oils differently, right? There's no one right way to do so. And one leaf oil that I wanted to spotlight is marjoram, this little guy here. It is effective for quite a few different systems in our bodies, and it's really awesome because it has calming properties and it has a positive effect on our nervous system. Maybe I should use some right now. But what's nice is that people really like to use this one after exercise because it gives you like it's like a soothing massage blend specifically for targeting any tired or stressed muscles. And it also promotes a healthy immune function and a healthy cardiovascular system function. So you can go ahead and apply it to the back of your neck as well if you're feeling stressed, if it's not specifically for muscles. But you could go ahead and add them to like your muscle blend, a sore muscle blend if you have one, to put on pre or post gym. Okay, now we're going to move on to the twig oils. Hopefully you can see everything. I love the twig oils. I love this list because it just makes me feel like Christmas because the black spruce, Douglas fir, Siberian fir, 3 out of 4 of them, I think of Christmas trees. And I think it would be just amazing to be in one of those forests where all those trees are around you and you're just in that fresh aroma. But luckily, doTERRA has bottled up the goodness and we have them in our homes. And these oils are really great because they'll help you feel strengthened, energized, clear, and active. Let's see, I've got the Siberian. I wish there was technology that you guys could smell it through the Zoom, but if not, I would definitely recommend trying one of these. Little side note, if you look up black spruce on YouTube, doTERRA black spruce, you can see that they have a really awesome zero waste production, harvesting and distilling. Really, really cool story. Anyways, so Siberian fir, on the other hand, also provides the soothing support to sore muscles and joints, but as well as this soothing aspect, it can actually uplift and energize your body and your mind, but it also evokes these feelings of stability and energy and empowerment. If you think of like these giant trees, right? We want to have that same stability as the trees. So it's about strengthening and stabilizing our body, but also helping us relax. It's really nice if you put 2 drops of Siberian fir with 4 drops of Balance. Hopefully you guys have all tried Balance, as mixed with some FCO for your sore and overworked muscles and joints. Just a quick note on, this cultural thing of enjoying different flavors, I would say. My boyfriend is Ukrainian, and so he grew up around actual Christmas trees, which I did in Hong Kong. So he loves these. He loves this one in particular, Siberian fir, to help in the diffuser to help him sleep. It's not my favorite all the time, but it's just one of these things that, like, when I was away, he had it in the diffuser all the time. Just check the chat. Oh, yeah, I know. Imagine living close to some real Christmas trees. That would be great. I mean, here at home now, we have a fake Christmas tree, but then we just put the diffuser in the diffuser, like a mix of oils that make it smell like a real Christmas tree. So, it's pretty environmentally friendly. Okay, we are going to move on to our bark and our wood oils. Now, these are some heavy hitters. We've got arbor vitae, birch, cassia, which unfortunately we don't have in China, but it's very, very similar to cinnamon. We've got cedarwood, cinnamon, and sandalwood. If you recognize any of these oils, it's probably because you've already used them for your skin or for sleep. Sandalwood, I don't have it right here, but that's okay. Sandalwood, very much like frankincense, has high levels of sesquiterpenes. And I did a quick search because I wanted to make sure I didn't tell you anything wrong. When I looked up sesquiterpenes on doTERRA.com, can I get there? Yeah. The main thing we want to focus on is, look at this. They are cleansing. They help us with digestive health. They aid in our healthy circulation, improve the appearance of skin, and also help promote a grounding and balancing effect on our emotions. I know lots of people have had incredible experiences with frankincense, which is just also one of the ones with sesquiterpenes in it. So sandalwood, it promotes healthy, smooth skin, and it reduces the appearance of blemishes, but it can also enhance your mood. And actually, this one is frequently used in meditation because it has these opposing properties of being grounding and uplifting as well. If you've noticed, with so many of these oils that we've talked about, they have so many different properties, right? Like, I know for me, I like to use peppermint to wake up and to feel energized, but I know Allie likes to drink it as a tea before going to bed, and it helps her relax. Because the oils have so many different properties, they can do so many different things for our bodies, but it's also about trusting our bodies to know intuitively what it needs as an effect from the oil at whatever time of the day, right? Maybe your peppermint in the morning will do something different from taking the peppermint in the evening. And so these bark and wood oils, they're warm, they're balancing, they smell kind of exotic, I guess. And I think That's from, you know, these oils being, I guess, not very local. That sounds kind of silly, but for example, sandalwood, I think it has that mysticism of like the East Asian spiritualism and so many different types of rituals. Also, cinnamon just smells so delicious all the time. You can just put a toothpick in it and stir it in some water, or when you're baking, because it's that strong that you can just use such a tiny little bit and it just smells heavenly. The other day, my sister made a diffuser combo of cinnamon and wild orange. It's like almost On Guard, but maybe not as like protective as On Guard, like doesn't have that protective feeling, but it just smelled so warm and lovely. Okay, now we're going to talk about those root and rhizome oils. If any of you guys have tried one of these and want to share an experience, you can go ahead. We've got ginger, spikenard, turmeric, and vetiver. I would say that vetiver is really probably quite famous in the doTERRA community because this one is one that just knocks people out. And if you've tried to pour it in your diffuser, you know that it takes like 10 minutes for it to drop or something. So lots of people like to replace it with a dropper. But like I mentioned before, the really thick oils, these root oils, are going to be oils that help you relax and feel balanced and grounding. They're very earthy. They're also great for self-confidence. They give you courage and strength, and they feel very stabilizing. I don't know what it is, but I feel like in our team or in our community specifically, I have heard so many women asking for help for their husband's sleep, and vetiver is always the one that's like just knocks them straight out.
Dominique,
So vetiver, yeah.
Can I share?
Sorry?
Can I share?
Yeah, please.
So I woke up in the middle of the night, maybe, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I had gotten my period and I had wicked cramps. They were so bad that I like couldn't get out of bed to do anything about it. Like it was agonizing. And so on my bedside table, I randomly had ginger. Okay. I don't know why. Usually it's like with my kitchen oils because I'll make a tea, right? But there was ginger, and I probably put maybe 3 or 4 drops on my belly thinking, okay, maybe because it's a warm oil, right? It's a hot oil. I'm like, maybe it'll help with the pain enough for me to get up and be able to, go do something about myself. And I put 3 or 4 drops and I passed out. It took the pain all away. And I was like, whoo, I didn't know that that was possible. So for those to warm your bellies, right? It's now my go-to for period pain, that with Deep Blue. It's amazing.
So interesting. Because I don't know. I mean, maybe in the book that's under the millions of things you can do with ginger, but it's definitely not one that we would immediately think of. But just going back to like your body will figure it out. The hundreds and thousands of properties that each oil has, your body's gonna just tap in and get the right one. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Allie. So back to vetiver. Vetiver is super rich in sesquiterpenes, which is what gives it this grounding effect. So you can have this calming and grounding emotions. If I'm not mistaken, I think Andy diffuses vetiver for her son when he's studying. I think I heard that. Which is really nice because after a difficult school day, you could totally use vetiver on your children, on their neck or their feet to give them these feelings of calm, right? Which is definitely like a good state to be in before or during your studies. But you can also take vetiver internally with some lemon, maybe in a capsule, because I don't think it tastes very good. And this will help boost your immune system. A really nice sleep blend is vetiver and wild orange. If you know me, you know that growing up I had lots and lots of sleep issues. So if anyone ever wants to talk about sleep or different sleep diffuser blends, I've got you because I've tried so many different ones. And I think we all deserve really great sleep. So it's really nice to try some of these root oils and see how you feel. Then we're going to go to our resin oils. I would say the resin oils are like our magic oils, right? We've got copaiba, frankincense, and myrrh. Frankincense, as we all know, is called the king of oils because it really supports our cellular regeneration, which we all want, right? But not only do these oils help us with that, they help us with a healthy inflammatory response, right? As we know, so many diseases nowadays are caused by inflammation in our body. So we definitely want to make sure that we're working as hard as we can to keep that down. But these oils also help support a healthy immune system. They help our skin, and they help us feel really calm. If anyone has tried Copaiba, you'll know that this one is incredible for relaxing, for sleeping. I mean, it helps so many different body systems. And yeah, you can use it for your skin as well. You can take it internally. And when you take it internally, it helps you with your cardiovascular system, your immune system, your digestive system, nervous system, and your respiratory system. I mean, like that's just a really, really long list. If you have anyone in your world, in your hemispheres, who have been talking about CBD, I know that's a big buzzword as well recently. Copaiba just trumps CBD in so many different ways, including in safety and purity. So whatever people are looking for in terms of benefits with CBD, you can have it with Copaiba. I can't give you the exact numbers. I mean, I could if you text me later and I send you the slides. But basically, it's just a lot more potent and a lot safer and a lot more pure, and with the same incredible benefits. So because I mentioned CBD, I just want to make sure that we're clear that actually Copaiba doesn't contain any psychoactive cannabinoids. The main component is actually something called caryophyllene, and this is actually a neuroprotective, and it can have cardiovascular and immune benefits. And it's also, on top of all these incredible things, it is also a powerful antioxidant, which helps promote our immune health. So a really nice way to start with any of these oils. Here at home, we do 2 drops of Copaiba and 2 drops of frankincense under our tongue, morning and or night. If you can do both, why not? You can add any of these to your moisturizer, to your FCO. Frankincense also has the incredible ability of enhancing the benefits of the next oil. So in the morning or at night, after I cleanse my face, I usually put a few drops of frankincense. Then I wait 30 seconds for it to absorb. And then I add my yarrow pom or whatever floral oil I'm using and my moisturizer on top of that for an extra boost. Okay, lastly, we're going to talk about the seed oils. These are so delicious. These are oils like cardamom, celery seed, which is new, launched as of last year, coriander, and also fennel. And these seed oils help us with a healthy liver function. They help us with a healthy reproductive system, hormone support, and also digestive support. My first oil that I found like I really, really noticed a difference that I was committed to using was actually Digestin. And Digestin contains a few of these oils in it. And it's a miracle worker. I think Maria on this call also had a similar experience with Digestin. So one of the examples of the seed oil is fennel, and fennel is, as I said, super great to promote digestion. So you can take this internally if you feel like you might be eating something that doesn't agree with your body so much, or if you are eating a particularly large meal. It's kind of sweet, actually, so I don't mind the flavor. If you don't like it, you put it in a veggie cap, or you can even just do a little tummy massage with some FCO for a nice soothing feeling. And it can also promote a healthy metabolism, liver function, and circulation. So another nice, remember how I mentioned it's sweet? Another way that you can use it is to help fight sweet cravings. So you can just take a little toothpick if you want, put it in some fennel and like suck on it. Same actually with cinnamon, that's what we do. Or you can just add a drop to water if you like the flavor, and it'll help you curb your cravings a little bit. But fennel can also support the health of your lungs and your respiratory tract. So you can also diffuse it in your diffuser in your home or your office to help you encourage a productive day. So this was a lot. I know it was kind of classifying all the different oils. There might be oils that you've never even heard of before, but hopefully you guys learned a little bit about how the part of the plant where we extract the oil from is going to help us identify what body system to support. Before we move on to explaining a little bit more about how we can purchase these oils, does anyone want to share an experience or share an oil that they're excited to add to their cart next month? Or any feedback at all? Let me see if you have any experiences that you want to share, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, or else I'll just continue.
I just wanted to say, Dominique, I think you did a really great job. I know this is your first continuing ed class. So congratulations, and we're all honored that you took your time and shared with us today. I think one of the ways, I'll share quick just before we wrap up. I love learning about oils in this way, like by grouping them together. Because, oh, did I cut out? It says my internet's
No, you're good.
Okay. I love, learning about them in these groups, because it's not about just one oil and what that one oil is going to do. It's like, if you think about it in terms of groups, if you're really looking for a flower oil or a citrus oil and you love wild orange, but you're out of wild orange, like you have so many other options, right? So I love learning about it like this, because I feel like it just gives us a little bit more empowerment and the flexibility to try different things. Like we don't have to just be stuck with our one pain management oil. Like there's so many that we can try. So thank you for this class. I love learning about oils like this. So thank you.
For sure. And I think a part of it is like, it's so incredible that we have such a wide range of options, right? That doTERRA has done all this research and provides us with the best of the best. But sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, there are so many. But what's great is that your routine can change all the time, right? Every now and then I'm flipping through the Essential Life book and I learn about like juniper berry, and I'm like, oh, juniper berry has to be in my routine now. And then a few days later, I learn about a new one, and then it changes a little bit, and that's okay, right? And then if you run out of juniper berry, you have another oil that you can use that will be just as great for your skin. And so instead of feeling maybe a little bit intimidated by our wide range of choices, we should feel empowered, because I'm sure even if we're working on similar things, we're totally going to have different favorites and, different oils that work for each of us. So as unique as our bodies are. Okay, I'm going to stop this share. Oh no, sorry. Okay, before we finish the class, I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about LRP, which is the incredible system that doTERRA has in place to help us get the most bang for our bucks, or the most bang for our renminbis. I think most people on the call are in China. So basically, it's like the gift that doTERRA gives us each month. Free products, extra discounts, special kits. I don't know if any of you guys got the really cool skincare kit that launched in China this month. Super awesome. And the reason we go over this quite a few times, this is your first class in the continuing education, but throughout the series, everyone's going to talk about the LRP, because we want to make sure that you get all the benefits to the best of your abilities, right? So imagine if you go to, or you order your Hema every week, or your regular local grocery supermarket. You go there every week, and imagine if after like 3 times shopping, they were like, "Hey, do you want an extra discount on everything that you buy?" And then after another couple months, a bigger discount. Oh, and on top of that, maybe free gifts now and then. Like that would be amazing, but I've never heard of that. So this is doTERRA's version of that. And I'm going to just go ahead and play this short little video, because I find that it's easier when we get to see all the graphics. sure it's nice and loud.
There's no sound. I think you need to take it out of your headphones.
There's no sound?
Is it your headphones?
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
You have already doTERRA essential oils and products. You will be wondering how you can get your hands on some. Let's look at the best ways to get the most product for the lowest price. The best way to get essential oils is by signing up as a wellness advocate yourself. When you sign up as a wellness advocate, after paying a small initial fee, you'll be able to purchase your oils at wholesale prices. That's 25% below retail. You will also be able to participate in the Loyalty Rewards program, which is a reoccurring monthly order that you can customize so that you never run out of the essential oils that you love. With LRP orders, not only do you receive wholesale pricing, you also receive an additional 10 to 30% of your total purchase in free product points. What are product points? These points can be cashed in for more doTERRA products. In other words, when you sign up for the Loyalty Rewards program, you're signing up to receive more products for free. These points accumulate from each LRP order you place. The percentage that you earn is based on the type of kit you purchase when you sign up as a wellness advocate and will grow every quarter until you reach a maximum of 30%. And when you place your order online, you earn 100% of your shipping costs back as points. Now, if you still want to qualify for more free product, you can participate in our Product of the Month Club. Each product has been assigned a value of personal volume. When your PV reaches 125, we will send you our pre-selected Product of the Month. The higher the PV of each order, the more chances you will have to qualify for the Product of the Month and any other promotions that doTERRA offers throughout the year. So, what is the best way to get your doTERRA essential oils? First, sign up to be a wellness advocate so that you can purchase at wholesale prices. Then create a Loyalty Rewards order and receive up to 30% of your order back as product points. Don't forget to order online so that you can receive 100% of your shipping costs back as more points. And finally, make sure that your order totals at least 125 points so that you can be a part of the Product of the Month club.
Sorry that those little ads popped up at the end.
But there are so many ways for us to get free stuff, get extra discounts. If you guys are here in China, you'll notice, or maybe you've already received your product of the month, which was a lemon, which is amazing because you can use lemon for so many things. But on top of the free product of the month, there's always also a product that's discounted. So this month it was 10% off DDR Prime. Super, super awesome. So if that little video was all new information to you guys, I totally understand if it's a little bit, intimidating. But basically it's a game, right? And it's a game that we can win so easily. Free products, further discounts, all of this, right? So just to go through the rules one more time. PV is the point value of a purchase. And so we don't usually talk about doTERRA products in currencies, we talk about them in PV. So when you shop, of course, you'll see the price that you're going to pay, but you'll notice that each product has a point value. And it's the point value total that will help us get free stuff. And so what happens is, if you're making a purchase over 50 points each month, then doTERRA is going to give you back a percentage. So if you are in your first month with doTERRA, you purchase 50 points, you'll automatically get 10% of those points back. That's already 5 points, plus another 5 points for the shipping if you're here in China, which means next month you can already start using those points towards one of the other products. And of course, you can choose how you like to spend them. And then if you're asking how much can I earn back, well, then that depends how long you've been with doTERRA and how long you've been participating in the Loyalty Rewards program. Like I mentioned, when you first start, you get 10% back, right? And this is for 3 months. So if you started this month, April, May, June, right? These 3 months, you're going to get 10% back. And then in July, you're gonna get 15% back for another 3 months. And then after that, 20, and then 25, and then 30%. So basically, in just a year of ordering, your natural health care with doTERRA, you're going to start getting 30% back. Now, if you noticed, a couple of times in the year, for example, right now in China, April, there is a 200-point promo. So if you were already with doTERRA for a year, you buy your 200 points, you get 30% back. That is 60 points. So that's already a lot of shopping that can be done the next month, right? Or what we like to do is save our points for the pricier oils because that's free stuff. So like I mentioned, and like the video mentioned, we also get our 5 points back for shipping, which is incredible. Most other markets include this too. I don't think Hong Kong has this, but I think all other markets do. So let's just look at the numbers. I'm gonna pull up this chart because I think this is the easiest way to look at it. Is this a good size for everyone to see? Okay, so like I said, months 1 to 3, 10% back. Months 4 to 6, 15, all the way up to 30%. Now, remember, this is an optional game to play. It is the best way to purchase, and it's the most fun way to purchase because who doesn't love free stuff and extra discounts? But there are a couple numbers that we want to make sure you remember. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And so these are the numbers that we want to think about. If you order 1 point in a month, that's okay, right? Sometimes our wallets are a little bit tight. Our budgets are more restricted depending on life, right? Like right now with this crazy world situation, you want to make sure that you buy at least 1 point so that you can keep your points, right? So let's say you've done your 3 months of 10% back, you're starting to accumulate, you maybe have 20, 30 points in your back office, but if the next month you don't buy anything at all, those points are unfortunately going to disappear. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. I would suggest ordering a toothpaste or a lemon or something small that you're going to use all the time on those months that you're not ready to purchase a larger gift. 50 points is the really, really important number because this is the minimum that you have to spend in order to keep jumping up. So if for 13 months you purchase just 50 points a month, you're going to get to your 30% back. So 50, not 49. Then 100 points. 100 points is what you'll spend if you want to earn commission. If you have experienced the joy of sharing essential oils, which there will be a little intro after this class, you want to make sure that you're purchasing 100 points in order to receive commission and from doTERRA, which is kind of like the little overhead of your business. And it's also what you're paying for your natural health care every month. Then 125, the other very important number, is what you want to purchase if you're interested in the free product of the month. So this is important because it needs to be purchased before the 15th of each month. On the 1st of each month, they announce in the morning what the product of the month will be. And at any time between the 1st and the 15th, if you place one order, it can't be a cumulative over several orders, it has to be one-time order before the 15th of 125 points, not 124, then you'll receive the free product of the month. Ta-da! And you're gonna start getting so many oils for free. You're just gonna love it. Your stock will grow, your experiences will grow. Is anyone on the call right now not based in China? I'm going to assume most people are, so I'm just going to quickly talk about the China LRP. It doesn't happen
I'm not
automatically.
from China, but that's okay.
You're not from China? Okay, so in your country,
That's
it's
okay.
actually a little simpler. Your LRP will be a template. So if you set it this month and you paid for it and it ships, if you don't change it, the next month, the same products will come through. In China, however, we don't have this automatic system. Every month we place an order. So what's nice is if you are going to forget, be the very organized person and set a little alarm on your phone for the 10th so you can think about what oils you want to order before the 15th if you want that free product of the month. Okay, so this little graphic here maybe kind of simplifies it if you guys were a little intimidated by all the other numbers. If you purchase between 1 and 49 points, you're going to just keep your points. right? Because you don't want them to flush. If you get 50 points, if you order 50 points, it's going to count as a month that will jump you up to starting to get more percentage back. 100 points qualifies you to earn commission. 125 points, if placed before the 15th, gets you that free product. And then 200 points are only really important on those months where there's a 200 point promo, which is usually about 3 times a year. Okay, a little quiz, and you guys can unmute yourself if you know the answer. What's the minimum point value that you need to order each month in order to jump up on the LRP percentage scale and earn more LRP points? If anyone wants to.
50?
Oh, there's the chat. Yay, 50.
Oh, through chat.
Yes,
Okay.
you're right. No, you can say it. You can say it.
Unmuting's great. I couldn't find my
Yeah.
button.
Awesome. Whoever said that, I couldn't see, but yes, you're right. If you're sharing oils, what's your monthly business overhead? So what is the amount of points that you need to buy in order to earn your commissions? 100. Thank you, Andy. Okay, third question. How many PV do you need to buy in order to earn the free product of the month, POM, between the 1st and the 15th? 125.
125.
Yay. Thank you. And if your refrigerator breaks or if coronavirus happens and you don't have money to buy the 50 points that month, do you automatically lose your points and percentages that you've earned? Nope. Yay, by 1 point. Anything below 50 points, anything at all. Awesome. Okay, you guys. So it's a really awesome way to get lots of freebies, and it's a fun way to start experiencing more oils. Yes, doTERRA is super, super generous. And if you don't want to participate in the loyalty rewards program, you don't have to. It's just what we encourage because everyone loves the oils, right? And like with any health activity, like going to the gym, the more you use them, the better they're going to be for your body. So think of it as your healthcare. And so with that, I'm going to stop sharing over here. By the way, after this class, please stick around with us for not too long if you'd like to experience the joy of sharing essential oils. Today, we'll just be covering the basics and showing you that we have an incredible free training system that you can use. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. I really cut it close to the time, but if anyone has any questions or anything, I'll open that up for a few minutes before jumping in to the sharing.
Yeah, can I have a question? So I have placed an LRP order for 3 consecutive months from February, March, April. But in my dashboard, it still shows that my point is 10%. So, I mean, some people explain that it will change on the 15th of the month, probably in May. But that means, does it apply to my May LRP order before the 15th then? So if I place another order in May before the 15th, will I enjoy 50% points or still? Okay.
Because if you've done February, March, and April, and they all qualified as your 10%, like they were all more than 50 points, then for May, you will jump up to the 15%. However, if one of these months was less than 50 points, that month won't count, right? So then we'll need one more month.
No, yeah, understand, yeah.
Awesome. That's exciting.
No, mine's way
it's really
over
fun.
50,
it's
so.
really fun to jump up in the next percentage.
Yeah, right. That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Anyone want to share like an oil that they're gonna add? I saw lots of people adding Copaiba. That's definitely the way to go. Little secret tip is that in the US, people are actually limited to how many Copaibas they can order each month because everyone is so obsessed with it. Here we don't have that, so go ahead. Anybody else? Oh, a new message. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, super good. Which class are we doing after this? The joy of sharing essential oils. Which one is it?
Sharing. Yes. It's the first class. All of the basics. So business class number 1 on your little, not a cheat sheet. Can't think of the word. On your stamp sheet, your stamp card.
Beautiful.
So, let me just share.
And then can I ask,
Oh, yeah.
where do I get the stamp card, actually?
Oh, I can actually send that in this chat. Hold on just a second. I just closed it, sorry. If I send it in, would you prefer it over WeChat, or would you like me to send it here on the Zoom chat?
No, Zoom chat is okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Let me just so many windows open. Oops. Actually, can I send an image? I can, right? Sorry, let me attach a file. Oh, maybe I can't. Allie, is this possible? to share a file through Zoom?
I'm looking now. It's not save chat. I don't think so. But we can get it through WeChat.
I can send it through WeChat. I mean, I could share you the screen and you could take a screenshot if you're on your computer. Screenshot. Would you like to do that? Okay, let me do that for a second.
Yeah, that's okay.
Awesome. Here you go. Are we good?
Yeah, we are good.
Awesome. And just quickly, I wanted to share, if you don't have the Essential Life app or book yet, please just look on doTERRA.com, because it is an incredible, incredible resource. You can type in any oil right here. Let's put rose, for example, and you will be able to see the little symbols that we talked about here, right? Aromatically, topically, and you can dilute it for young or sensitive skin. There will be more info on each of the oils here, but just in case you don't have the Essential Life yet, you can go ahead and look at that. Okay, so for those of you who are staying on the call, thank you so much. I'm really, really excited. It's all about getting started, right? It's a short little training on the joy of essential oil sharing, right? I'm sure at some point you've used an oil and you're like, oh my gosh, I need my friend to use this, my brother to use this, my cousin to use this. I need them to try, right? And that's totally normal. So since this is business class number 1, we're just going to cover 3 really important things. Number 1, making a list. Number 2, sampling. And number 3, inviting to a class. So this sort of really simple steps, it doesn't sound like anything too complicated, right? And you're totally right. It's not. And even to help us simplify even more, doTERRA's leaders have actually found that there are 2 super different ways to build a business. The first way is an effective way, and the second way is an ineffective way. And we don't want to do that at all, right? So we have found a method that works and it's duplicatable. That's really the most important thing, right? We want it to be easy for you. We want us all to be able to follow a system so you don't have to create your own system on your own. And trust me, we want to learn how to share oils in an effective way. And this is totally the right place at the right time, because what you're going to learn today is just through these 3 other calls. It's all proven to be really, really effective. So you're listening to me talk and you're like, what is this incredible training? Where does it come from? Well, we actually have a whole system, and it's created by this woman named Elise Chedevy. She is doTERRA's highest ranking wellness advocate. She is an incredible woman. And so she created this whole model that is totally duplicatable. And not only is it duplicatable, it has actually produced thousands of financially independent wellness advocates within doTERRA. So I think for most of us, that is an incredible goal to work towards. So that's why we teach and use this super simple system to ensure that everyone and anyone can be successful. So I'm going to share a screen with you guys and show you what this system is. Sorry. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. It is called the Daily Mentor Calls. So if you went to dailymentorcalls.com, which I'm going to just write here, you can create a free account and you can access all the calls immediately. So as you can see, she actually has 50 calls. And if you went through one each day, some are 5 minutes, some are 45 minutes, it will be basically a step-by-step to your business. And so here is our little homepage and our daily mentor calls. Oh, sorry, that format was weird. Okay. And so this is our personalized doTERRA business training manual. Okay. If you got a job like at Google or something, your position would definitely come with a training manual, right? I'm hoping. But of course, at Google, you'd have to learn the right way to do your job, and your boss would have a pretty clear outline of what you need to learn to do in order to be effective at your role, right? And then this would be the criteria that you would be evaluated on quarterly or every year to see if you get a promotion, all of that. But what's super, super awesome is that with doTERRA, you don't have to have a boss. You don't have a boss. You are your own CEO, which means that you want to treat yourself as a CEO. And so this is a way that you can prioritize this training manual in a way that will set you up for success. And that's the mindset that I want you to take on as you go through these calls. So if you haven't already signed up, go ahead, sign up for free. If you want, you can do them one day at a time. And then when you finish the call, you'll get an email saying, here's call number 2. Or you can do what I did here is you can just access all of them immediately, which is really cool. So this is what we would call the little back office of Elise Chedevy's training system, the Daily Mentor Calls. And this is going to be your go-to resource. So sometimes we have people asking like, oh, I need some help with sampling. How do I do it? And we're like, you know what? Look at this. You can check out Daily Mentor Call 10 all the way to 14. That's going to help you learn how to sample effectively. Or if your classes are having low attendance, no worries. Let's go listen to Daily Mentor Call 11 again. And Elise is bubbly and funny and relatable, and she really just makes it seem easy and fun. So as you can see, the website is pretty straightforward. Here on the left, you can just choose which Daily Mentor Call you're going to do. So for example, let's say Daily Mentor Call number 2. It's about creating a names list. So once you click on it, you'll actually get a little assignment down here. I'm pointing at my screen with my finger and realize you can't see it. It's just a 5-minute SoundCloud, which you can listen to really quickly. And then you'll go ahead and check out what the assignment is. You do, however, if you're in China, need a VPN to open and to play the SoundClouds. Okay, so today what I want to go through is a few of these calls and basically giving you an overview of what you can expect. Right, so we'll talk a little bit about calls 1 through 14. So just a quick little note, remember when we talked about Google? So imagine if on your first day at work at Google, you're sitting there and you're looking at your new job training, right? And it's the first time you hear it. And so the words are just like over your head. You're like, I understand it maybe theoretically or hypothetically, but I haven't experienced yet. Right? There are going to be words that you don't know, new systems, new technology, and then you might need to take a break and look at your notes again and try to refresh on the resources and really pick it apart until the work makes sense to you, right? So it's the same thing here. Maybe you have gone through the mentor calls before, but this will be a super awesome refresher for you. And it's just great motivation and inspiration. So maybe some things didn't make sense before. Like if you listen to these calls when you just opened your doTERRA account and you didn't know what POM meant or PV meant, or you had never shared oils before. So all of this training kind of seemed maybe like it wasn't right for you at this time, but at least you have that knowledge somewhere in your brain. And now when you hear it again, you're totally ready and it will all fall into place. So now that you guys have got the right mindset, we're going to get started. So we're going to cover the 3 things I mentioned: making a list, sampling, and inviting. Let me just check the chat. Oh, thank you, Maria. That's my aunt. Bye. Have a good night. I know it's very late over there. Okay, so number 1, which is daily mentor call. Number 2, number 1, the introduction, of course. It is a really, really fun call. If you're not sure what this program is going to be bringing for you, she just has such a great, great, great energy, and you can feel it when you listen to the call, and it'll get you super, super, super excited. Okay, so you should definitely listen to this at a time when you're needing a little bit of motivation, or if you feel like you're needing a little bit of direction. Allie, sorry, should I play the call?
Oh, no, we'll just walk through. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Walking through.
So if you guys have 5 minutes in your morning or evening or at lunchtime, go ahead and listen to that. I'm sure, I haven't met anyone who doesn't like Elise. Then our daily mentor call number 2 is the one that's really going to get you started with actually, pen to paper or fingers to keyboard doing something. So it's about making a names list. So let's just pause and talk about this for a little bit. If you're going to start sharing your oils, you kind of need a list of people, right? And so this process has you going through everyone that you know without any bias, of course, and you write them down on a list. There's even a little PDF, if you see here, called the Memory Jogger. It's to help you, jog your memory and maybe get the people out of your head and onto a piece of paper. They'll ask you things like, maybe, have you been to a chiropractor? Or who's the owner of like the yoga studio that you go to? Things like that. Now, this is how I felt when I listened to this call. Maybe you're the type of person as well who's like, I don't think I know that many people. And I swear, I think you'll be surprised that as you go through this process, you actually do know lots of people who could benefit from our oils or the business opportunity, right? I mean, I think everyone I know could benefit from either one of these things. So make sure that you go through this and get your list of 100 people and do the best you can, right? You don't have to get too caught up on the number of 100, right? But just, it's about, trying your best and maybe writing down some names that make you a little bit uncomfortable. That's okay. And don't be like, oh, if I don't get to 100, I can't move on. Just do the best you can, and then you're going to get there eventually. So this is a document that actually you would want to keep throughout your business, right? Because you're going to want to keep adding people to your list as you grow, right? You might meet somebody in a class or at school or at a restaurant or on the airplane, and maybe you're going to want to add these people to your list. Moving on, we have daily mentor call number 3. It's about ranking each name on your list. So this is a really, really interesting call. Elise basically spent a lot of time interviewing and surveying the other top doTERRA leaders to see if there were similar traits amongst these people in the organization, and to see if what they have in common is what helps them get there to the top. So turns out, yes, there are 7 common characteristics, and you'll see that here in the list. Hopefully it's not too small. We've got female, has money, time, purpose, need, age 30 to 55, interested in natural things, has business/sales experience, socially influential, and has a supportive spouse or partner. So basically what you're going to do with this information is you're going to go back to your list and you're going to look at each person and you're going to rank them or rate them according to each of these characteristics. So you can give them each a point for if they complete this criteria or not. So they will get points out of 7. So then you kind of see why your names list is so important, right? I'll go through this myself and rate myself. So you can kind of see how it works, and you can go ahead and rate yourself. You can even share your number if you want. So me, yes, female. 2, has a money, time, purpose, need. All 3 or just one of them is fine. I'm not 30 yet, but I'm just going to put myself there because I want to open this business up to younger millennials and any young people anyways. Yes, interested in natural things. And actually, I don't have experience with business or sales. I don't think of myself as socially influential, and I don't have I have a supportive partner. But I think it's maybe not in the same way that Elise was thinking about when she was interviewing all these people. So I would give myself a 4 out of 7, which is totally okay. You don't have to only contact, it's not like only people who have 7 out of 7 are great in this business. This business can work for anybody and everybody. But, for some of these, maybe you'll have to guess, right? You're not sure if they complete these criteria, tick yes or no. It's okay. Just try to, get a little bit of understanding on your people. So this is actually pretty important, even though some people might actually not like this idea of rating their list. And I totally understand, but we have to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. You're not rating these people on if they're good people or not, right? These can be your best friend. It doesn't mean that you don't like them anymore or that you're judging them in some sort of way. It's basically, we just want to take the emotion out of this. The rating is simply to help you sort through your list so that we can find the people that we want to talk to first. That's really it. So you would go through your Excel or through your paper sheet, and you would go ahead and do the best that you can to give them this rating. And, you don't have to get hung up on how high you would rate on this ranking system, right? Because there are obviously very successful people who might not fall into any of these categories, which is the other awesome thing about this business. And there are always going to be people who are, the anomaly on this chart. So maybe don't think to yourself like, I only scored 4 or 4.5 out of 7, I won't be successful. That's totally not true. Not only is this business built for anybody and everybody, especially with this incredible training system, people also change over time, right? There's persistence, effort, and teachability. These sort of characteristics aren't on the list. And personally speaking, the last time I met up with lots of my friends from home, we're 26, 27 now, people who I thought would never be interested in health are starting to think about these things. So it's just like interesting to reconnect with people in your life. So you're going to go through these things, you're going to rank without the emotions, and you'll try to get a number for each of these people and put that number right next to the name. Okay. Then we would move on to call number 4. So basically you've already written your list, and you've already ranked the people on your list to the best of your ability. But now it's all about personalizing it, right? You can see the title is Creating a Plan for Each Name. So here's how we're going to make our plan. First, you're going to decide which form of contact would be most effective for each person on your list. I would actually add here WeChat, because as we know, for us who live in China, WeChat's just a totally different beast and world and functions differently from other social media. So let's see what's going to work best for this person. Is it better if you phone call them, text, email, or Instagram DM, something like that? And then this is where you would start thinking about the relationship that you have with this person, right? And then once you've decided what's the best, you write that down next to their name. And you know what? I think Excel really is the best way to go through this, because if you had it all handwritten, there might be too many different edits. Then next, we're going to decide if a product approach or a business approach is more appropriate for this person, right? What do you think they'd be more interested in? What do they need the most, right? And you're going to write this down next to their name, their number, and the method of contact. So I think you can start to get the feeling of like how methodical this whole system is. And it just makes sure that nobody's going to slip through the cracks or fall out of your memory. And you want to make sure that everyone you love is included in your business and in what you love. So it's just a really nice way to be able to keep track of your amazing list. Now we're going to move on to Daily Mentor call number 5, right? This is about the scripts that they can give you. Oh, that's so amazing. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just feel like even if I know what to say, the words don't necessarily come out in the right way, or I forget the most important message. And so see, these are some examples, which of course you can take and edit to how you feel a bit more comfortable, but it's really nice to have this baseline of like knowing what really works. So there's a text script, a social media script, an email, an in-person call, right, for a product, or an in-person call for the business approach, right? I mean, look at this. So many scripts. And they're really incredible, right? She's spent a lot of money doing all this research to figure out how this method could be the most effective for so many people. So actually, you don't have to deviate from these scripts at all. Maybe there are certain words that you feel like are just not you that you can replace, but you could really just go with this script. Now, I'm not saying that like when you call somebody, you read this like without knowing it at all. Read it a couple times until it feels comfortable and genuine to you, right? Just because you're reading this doesn't mean it's not to your best intention and it's not really coming from the heart. So it's, you know, maybe they'll be a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning, but we're trying to grow by going through this training method. And so let's just like lean into that, right? And in the end, these scripts work, and that's totally what matters. So basically, you've made your list, you've ranked your list, and you've considered the best approach and contact. And now you're going to use these scripts to connect with people. And Elise walks you through all of this in these calls. So what's cool is like, depending on the type of learner that you are, you don't necessarily need to do the work as you're listening. Maybe you prefer to listen to a few first, get the overview, and then sit down and do all of it in one go, right? Eventually, of course, you will need the work to catch up to your listening. And in one of our upcoming calls, it's called Elite in 6 weeks, we actually put together all of Elise's training in a super, super awesome launch for your business. And basically, it's a 6-week launch, but this is based on the fact that you have done all of the stuff above and that you're totally ready to go. And the 6 weeks to Elite business launch actually starts with sampling. So let me just quickly go through that. There are actually 5 calls that are dedicated to the process of sampling. And you're probably thinking, why are there so many on this one topic? I can just chuck a little 1 ml bottle at somebody and they're going to love the oil. Unfortunately, that's not true. Sampling is super, super, super important. And actually, that's where you feel the joy of sharing essential oils, right? Because it feels really, really awesome when someone comes back to you and, you know, they've opened up enough to share maybe a health challenge or something, and you have the power to give her a tiny little sample size solution for her to try, him or her. And then that person comes back to you with a great experience. I mean, it just feels incredible. But once they've had a great experience, that's the time, and this is the only time that the space is open for you to invite that person to an introduction to essential oils class. So I'm just going to open up number 7, sampling basics. This is super, super important. We want to make sure that the samples we give are free. So maybe you need to look at your budget and think about, okay, what's the right amount of money that you're ready to spend on sampling people? You don't want to give 10 to 20 drops of something really expensive like helichrysum, right? You want to make sure that you're sampling the more economical oils. And this is super, super important because I've made this mistake before we were introduced to Elise, is you want to make sure you sample somebody just 1 oil at a time. The only issue with this is sometimes like you're sending through mail or through Kuaidi here in China. So then maybe you can send them 1 or 2 more, maybe like the wild orange and peppermint for their introduction class, as well as the oil that is for their specific health issue, so that you can save on that shipping. But the other thing is that you only want to sample 1 health challenge at a time. And you want to choose a health challenge that has more acute systems, so that you're going to see a quick result with the oil. So you would take the little 1 ml sample bottles, which we don't have here, but they're very cute and tiny, and you can purchase them really easily on Taobao. And you'll put 10 to 20 drops of an oil in the sample. Definitely do not want to sample a full bottle of an oil, because then they won't come back to you. and they'll never run out, and then they'll never need to come to a class. So with the little bottle, you could think about it like a 2-day supply, right? If they're dealing with a headache, maybe peppermint, give them enough that they could have more than just like the quick experience of, okay, my headache's gone, but then how about in the evening if it comes back, something like that. So that when they have that great experience that you give them, there's a reason for them to follow up and come to your class. So what's really awesome about this whole method is that we aren't reaching out to just anyone and everyone we know and trying to like convince them to come to class, like, please just come. It's actually a lot simpler than that to get started. First, you have to realize that when we're reaching out to people, it's because we want to be of service to them, right? We want to help them simplify their health, get rid of this issue that might be costing them time and money and like emotional stress, right? But not only that, when we decide to sample somebody, we're opening up this relationship, right? We want to make sure that we show up for them and continue to show up for them throughout this whole process so that it's a genuine relationship of care and of service. And then when that person is ready, that's when we offer up the full introduction class. And then at that point, they're going to be super, super excited to come and learn. And then that's how you set up your class for success. And so we really, really can't miss out on the idea of sampling. Because if you think about it, some people might say, oh yeah, I've heard of essential oils. They might be great. But when you send if you send out that invitation and they haven't had a great experience, lots of other things in their life will take priority. Oh, it's Saturday, I feel like going to lunch instead of coming to the class, right? Because they just don't have that incredible experience of knowing what an oil can do for them. Okay, so the last thing we're going to learn today is how to invite people to a class. And like I just mentioned, there is a wrong way to invite to a class, which we wouldn't think there could be, but there is. And okay, it's not necessarily about it being right or wrong. It's more about it being effective or ineffective. And we definitely want you to be effective. So let's talk about this effective inviting. And this is a really exciting part. So I want us all to understand that you need to know where somebody is emotionally and physically in the moment when we're inviting them to a class, right? So number one, they've already opened up enough to identify a health need, and they've also shared it with you. Number two, you've already sampled them effectively. Number three, they've had a great experience with the oil. So that number four, they're ready to receive that class invitation. Now, in the sampling call, she'll talk to you about what happens if somebody has not a great experience with an oil, how to follow up, how to keep working with them so that they have a great experience with an oil, right? Because there is something out there for everybody. So you can put yourself in this person's shoes. We have a member in Team Oil. Her name is Marlene, and she shared that she suffered for decades with pain, and she tried everything under the sun, and nothing gave her any relief at all. Her friend, Christina, offered her some of the Deep Blue Rub, and in one night, within minutes, she said that she felt relief that she hadn't experienced in years, and that she actually slept for the first time really, really well. And so that's a whole other miracle, right? You know that the day that you've had really, really great sleep, you're just going to feel so much better and do so much more. So if you think about it, Marlene had just woken up with no pain after a really, really good night's sleep. So at this point, how does Marlene feel about coming to an introduction to essential oils class to learn more about these incredible oils? She's like super, super excited, right? We would all be. And this is exactly the sort of atmosphere and environment that we want in our class. We want this for all the customers. And so, maybe there's another scenario. It could be like, hey, you have kids. I teach essential oil classes. Do you want to come? Maybe the person's like, okay, I guess, but like, aren't essential oils just the thing that makes your house smell good? Which is what I thought before. In that situation, with this person, you have no connection, really. You haven't built any trust. And that person hasn't had like that, oh my gosh, that OMG moment with their oils, right? That would make her a potential customer that actually brings her to the class. So building a business like that is not fun, because these people are not going to show up, and you're going to start feeling pretty crappy when no one shows up to your classes. So you want to do it the Marlene way. So here's a little example of an invitation script after someone has had a great oil experience. So let's pretend that I'm messaging Marlene, and Marlene texts me and she's like, oh my gosh, I have no back pain and I slept. What is this stuff? I'm so excited. So this is an example of what you can say. If you think that the deep blue rub is awesome, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's honestly incredible how many things you can solve with essential oils. And then you give a little example of 1 or 2 of your powerful experiences with essential oils. You can say, just this week, I cured a really bad stomach ache with DigestZen, right? And then after that, you'll say, here's what we're going to do. There is an amazing Intro to Oils class on Thursday and another class on Saturday. And I think that what you will learn could really, really change your life in a powerful way. And I would love for you to come. So which of those times works better for you? Marlene is going to be like, wow, 2 class options, super generous, super excited. And so for her, she's going to have so much fun that you as a leader, you're going to have so much fun. And so the leader's excited and the customer is excited about coming together for this class. So now you understand a little bit more about the psychology of inviting and helping somebody say yes. So mentor calls number 11 through 14 actually go through the effective way to invite and follow up. And it includes that little script that I just read. So super simple. And best of all, it works, right? It really, really works to get people sampled effectively and excited to show up at your door or at the cafe, wherever it is that you're going to hold that class. So following this system, you're actually going to have a room of really, really excited people, who are ready to learn more about oils. They're not coming thinking about if they're going to get started. They're thinking about how they're going to get started, right? And what products they're going to walk away with. Especially here in China, people are getting their oils like the day after they've placed a delivery. We are so blessed with Kuaidi. So this really just makes the feeling in your class super, super inspiring, right? If everyone's excited and everyone's exciting each other, it's just like all good vibes, super, super awesome. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you're teaching the class yourself, which by the way is totally doable because Elise has a script that you can memorize for the Intro to Oils class, or you can ask one of your uplines to teach for you. You would be just the one who's handling the samples to your friends and family or your relationships. And you would still want to sample it the same way, but we would just want to make sure that you have someone teaching the class. And really, when people are sampled properly, it's fun to teach because it's fun to sample people's health needs, right? Instead of saying like, hey, do you want to buy this bottle of lavender? It's like, hey, let me, give you the sample of lavender, see if you like it, right? It's a different experience. You feel like you really are serving somebody and not just selling to somebody just because. So it's completely aligned with, the doTERRA and our community in particular with our heart. And then it's fun to follow up and to build a relationship and to ensure that people have a good experience, right? It's okay if someone comes back and they're like, you know what, that oil wasn't great for me. Like, no worries. If you're patient, let's see what else can work for you because we have so many oils that do so many different things. And then after all of that, it's super exciting to invite a new person who's beginning to see the power of oils to come to a class. And really, in the end, it's just awesome customer service, right? Ensuring you that to remind them to come in a way that works and gets people to show up and they know that they can rely on you. And that's super important in a relationship going forward. So I think it would be really, really great. And I encourage you the best you can to go through calls 1 through 14. Again, if you aren't doing all the work, but you're going through and getting the flow of the call and really absorbing what she's saying, that's totally okay. You can always go back and do the work when you're ready to launch. Okay, so that's it. We made it. These are the basics of for the Joy of Sharing Oils class. Number 1, it's on the bottom part of your continuing education punch card. Honestly, I hope you guys are as excited as I am about the possibility of changing people's lives with our oils. And you know, you have everything you need to get started. Even if you have just 5 oils in your home and one incredible experience. And if you feel like you don't, if you feel like you're not ready, reach out to your upline. And then, you know, we're going to keep going until we find someone who wants to build this business with you, right? And if you find someone who is building, then they can help you out and connect you to all these different resources we have that are proven to be effective. Our team is really, really special because we have so many people all over the world who are all building the business in totally different ways, and yet we're all connecting with similar resources, right? And support. So you have so many options of people to reach out to. So if you think about it, your assignment for this week is to just sign up for your daily mentor calls, right? It's in the chat, www.dailymentorcall.com. Is it Daily Mentor Call or Daily Mentor Calls?
Both, actually, she bought both URLs, so there's no way to get it wrong.
She's so smart. Oh, she's a genius. Okay, and they're free, right? Like I mentioned, and this is really going to be your go-to resource to learn how effective it is, how you can be so effective when you share doTERRA. So we covered calls 1 through 14. See if you can get through all these calls if you're going to tune into next week's business call, right? And if you're stuck along the way, just reach out to your upline or someone else in the team who can help support you. So I'm going to unmute everybody now. Oh wait, let me stop sharing this first. Oh goodness. Sorry, I've lost my controls. Oh, there they are. Stop share. Okay, so I'm gonna unmute everybody. And if you wanna share a little bit of love or knowledge or questions or queries, anything you want, go ahead. I realize I don't know how to unmute everybody at once, so
maybe I can do it.
Maybe you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, or maybe unmute yourself.
I don't want to force unmute you guys. Maybe you're like on the metro or something.
Or you have kids screaming in the back like mine. Dominique, just
Yes,
another applause for you. And guys, this is the power of our system, right? Like we set it up and Dominique came in and she can just run it, right? Because we have all of this set up for you. So Dominique, maybe you can just like when you signed up to put your hand up to teach classes, did I go away again?
Allie froze.
Allie froze. Just on top of that, I forgot my computer charger. No. She's back. I forgot my computer charger, but even without that, I can just access these notes and these things on any computer, right? So it's just,
yeah, so
really try to make it
that was my question for you. When you put your hand up to teach this, like what was that experience like for you?
Honestly, I was just like, Allie has been doing so much work. She's done it so many times. I've tuned into so many classes. I should be able to do this. Very nervous, obviously. Couple snafus along the way, but you know, it really was easy. And I think that like once you've tuned into one call, you already know more than you think you know. So it really is just like trying to help each other out, and hopefully the little flavor that everyone gives is still a little bit useful.
Absolutely.
But I'm also always just trying to be like Allie, so.
No, it's awesome. And what about the resources? So how did you learn how to teach these 2 classes today?
Yeah, our incredible Allie actually put together a whole guide of all the different classes. So you have the student guides, which is what you're going to be sharing with everybody. You have the teacher guides, which basically have the scripts of everything you're going to talk about. The LRP is linked there. It's all just like if Elise made it easy for us, Allie made it even easier.
That wasn't supposed to be a plug for me. It was supposed to be a plug for the system.
It's a plug for you. Okay, it's a plug for the system that Allie created for our team. An extra.
I want to show everyone the system because I know that so many of you on this call, like you want to teach, right? And it's the next kind of step. It's the next evolution of our leadership is we all have this voice and we all have communities that like I can't touch, right? Caslin, I can't touch your community in Singapore. I don't know them. Like we want to equip you to be able to do that. The same thing for each and every one of you on the call. So I just want to show you what's available just in case you haven't seen it yet. My internet is going crazy. But basically, oh, it's frozen.
You want me to share?
Yeah,
I
is
got
yours
it
up?
too.
Let me stop this share.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to share behind the
Okay.
curtain. I just shared in the chat that last week's intro to oils
sorry.
call, guys, that was scripted, like 100% scripted. And of course, you can't just read the script, like Dominique said. But if you go over it a couple times, it starts to feel natural. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love about this.
So this is the link, bit.ly/ContEd guide. And then it looks like this. So it's our little cheat sheet for educators. Look at all of this. It's about teaching the introduction class, what you need, right? What you want people to have if they're tuning into a Zoom class, right? Because of course it's different if you're in person. Info on what the enrollment kits are. Here's for China, but of course, if you're teaching somewhere else, it's pretty easy to find that. Ta-da, different examples of like how the intro class has been taught by Ali, by Victoria, by Elise, and then all the continuing education stuff you need. So the cards, the calendar, how to invite people, LRP, you click this amazing thing and it has all the LRP info, the video, the graphics, different photos, depending on how you like to explain the LRP, because sometimes it's confusing. The little quiz at the bottom, look at all of this. And then it goes through the order of the classes. So you have your student guide, your teacher guide. If you want, you could watch one of the classes that Allie's done to see if she throws in any other fun tidbits that maybe the teacher guide doesn't have, and all of this. And then at the bottom, the business classes as well. Ta-da! It's like as simple can be.
Everything is there. Thank you, Dominique, for pulling that up. And Amy is teaching this evening, so that's super exciting. Everyone's getting to stretch some of their leadership arms today. And so for those of you on the call, like, I just encourage you, if this is on your heart, right? If this is something you're watching Dominique and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I want to do what she's doing and I want to impact people's lives with wellness and health, like, everything is available to you. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting.
That's true.
Am I frozen?
And I see so many of these names that I've seen on lots of the other calls. So I feel like these people are definitely ready.
Right.
Even if you don't want to think you're ready. I didn't want to think I was ready, but just go for it.
I know. It's exciting.
And depending on where your people
Dominique.
are, right, there are so many different, oh, thank you.
Yeah, awesome job.
Thank you. You're going to be awesome tonight.
I know. I'm going to call in, support Amy tonight. So good.
Watch.
Go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
No, it's just super helpful to see it now and then before my class tonight. So
Also, guys, I'm
for
gonna
being a
admit
great
something, that yesterday I was practicing the wrong class. And yet, this morning when I figured it out, I managed to get it together and still do this class. So even if that happens to you, which hopefully it won't, you'll be okay.
That is
You did
awesome.
great, Dominique. Don't worry.
Thank you, Lian.
Yes, it was so good. It was so good. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Rona. Have a good one.
Good to see you, Rona.
No, I think all clear. There's a lot to digest. So thank you very much.
Yep,
Awesome. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday lunchtime with us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you, Agata.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ready soon. Thank you, Kiara.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Great job,
Bye.
Dominique. We'll see you tonight, Amy.
Okay.
I hear some cuties.
You guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Amy. See
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.